What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Holden Bros. Culver's over there working, so I'm gonna introduce y'all to the ultimate American truck build. And we are dealing with Tim Stevenson over at Decent Garage. Go check out his channel, Decent Garage, on YouTube. Check him out on Instagram. Cool guy, big first gen guy. Y'all know that we like all the Dodge Cummins stuff and got a soft spot for the first gens for sure, along with the internationals and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we were asked by Tim to put together a 12 valve for a really cool truck that he is building. He's even got Charlie Pitcher involved in this. Charlie Pitcher is a first gen, he's a Dodge guy. He's got like swept lines and first gens. He knows Dodges. He's got that early one with a diesel motor in it they just saved out there in California, I think.
Nevada, maybe?
Nevada?
Yeah.
Hopefully one day we'll get to do some kind of collab with him as well, because he's our kind of guy. He likes all the cool old stuff and the right kind of cool old stuff. So anyway, we are putting together this 12 valve, and it involves using parts from Hamilton cams. We've got a stage 2 cylinder head going on this thing from Hamilton.
Yep.
We're running a set of basically reconditioned 12 valve rods.
We're also running H-series bearings on rods and mains.
For this build, we're going with a mainly stock piston.
It is a 40 over. We didn't want to sleeve the motor, and that's what it took to clean up. This was a core engine that we pulled out of our container. We don't have all the parts out yet, but we have a Steed Speed T3 manifold, Borg Warner K27, and then we have a Forced Inductions SXE 369. This truck's also 6-speed manual, so you need something that'll spool quick.
Yes, between gears.
So it's perfect for what
it is a killer turbo setup.
Yes.
That just works really, really well.
500 to 600 horse all day long.
And I think you could probably make 7 if you leaned on it.
I think the power-driven guys have made almost 700, but that that's ringing them.
Getting excited. You may have noticed whenever we put the piston jets in that we're using billet aluminum ones, and the factory they're actually plastic, and they'll be like green or white or blue, and they have shorts and they have longs and all kinds of stuff. We prefer to use the billet ones because you don't have to ever worry about these failing, and these piston cooling jets is what these are, actually fit into the bottom side of the piston. When the engine turns around, that jet sprays up into the crown of the piston, and there's actually holes you can see in the casting down there. That's to allow oil to get into the top side of the crown of the piston, and that's what makes the duty cycle of that piston go considerably higher, because you're using oil to cool the crown of it, which is where all the heat is. So we use billet aluminum. It's something you don't have to worry about. They press in nice and tight. They're knurled right out of the box, so they've got a good press. It's the right way to do it. Main cap's going on. Remember, whenever you're doing this, there's a mitered edge of 45, and it's got a number on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 1 is at the front of the engine, and this side faces the oil cooler side of the motor. It's important because, well...
No, if not, your engine will run backwards.
For the geeks who want to know specifics about what we're doing, like, well, what's your piston to bore clearances and what's your ring gap? I'm not gonna give away all the sauce on it, you know what I'm saying? But I will say this: 1 in 6, we add an extra thou to.
Yep.
And the piston to bore clearance, I'm gonna say, is really close to stock because it works pretty damn well. As with anything, if you're doing any machine work, you go through and you measure every single piston. Every one of these pistons is matched to the hole that they belong in. Everyone has been measured individually and sized specific to the hole. So if not all of these are going to match, they're going to be within a thousandth or two of each other, but they are perfectly matched to the size of the piston that's going in the bore.
Yes.
Which is the most critical thing over anything. Not just picking a number that somebody says and doing all 6 and doing all that. That's not the way you do it. Everything has to be measured, and you're not going to take and make that piston a half thousandth smaller in diameter, and you're not going to make the other one a half thousandth larger.
No.
Balance the entire rotating assembly. When we do any balancing, the material is taken out of the wrist pin on the inner diameter of the wrist pin. Yep. That's the most forgiving and the best way in our opinion to do that. If you've got some rod stuff that has to happen, you got a bunch of material down here on the rod cap that you can grind on. But the bottom line is these are really close to stock specs. Adding a little bit and well, so for a cam in this setup, we're running a 188-220 cast cam in a set of Hamilton's 1.5". It might be like 145. A little bit bigger than a stock tappet. The lobe has a greater contact surface, so they just work better, and that's what we do. We put the lotion on its skin.
Exactly.
Y'all say hi to Tim.
What's up?
Tim runs a YouTube channel called Decent Garage, and they're down here from Utah, and we are doing the Great American Truck Build. We've got the majority of the engine assembly together, and we just got our stuff back from CGC Cerakote. Custom Gun Creations is the name. They are right down the road from us. They're here in Bernie, so if you need some Cerakote stuff, pistol, engine parts, whatever, give them a shout. His name is Clint. We had the exhaust housings coated. This is all in a 2,000 plus degree coating. Hot pipe, baller, in this satin finish. And you can do this same stuff like on guns, you can do it on valve covers, you can do whatever, and they've got all kinds of different colors, stuff that has more sheen to it. We wanted to go with something that was obviously black to go with the theme of the truck, and we wanted to dull it down where it didn't have a whole bunch of shine also. That way we get a couple different contrast colors, because we've got a lot of semi-gloss and gloss stuff going on here. A lot of it is basically semi-gloss, but like the Steed manifold is very, very similar. It's got like this flat, very, very light sheen to it. So all the stuff that's got high exhaust gas temperature stuff, all your hot pipe, turbine housing, stuff like that, we wanted to coat and look very, very similar. So we've got our housing from Forced Inductions here for our 69, and then this is our K27 Borg Warner and our hot pipe. And then bro, look at that gray on the compressor. Dude.
It's gonna look good.
It is gonna look so awesome. You don't want like, you know, rainbow colors and everything everywhere. You just gotta have those good, nice accentuations where it feels like everything has a good balance. And so far I feel like we nailed it. We just got all the piping back from Powder Coat, which is looking baller Mac over here. This is in a semi as well. So pretty excited to see all this stuff come together. Hopefully you guys are too. Wait till y'all see the frame on this thing. It is ridiculous. For all you P-pump guys out there, if you've ever had a hard time setting up a P-pump to make big power, or you've had a hard time with slipping the gear on the front side of the pump, this is a nifty piece from Power Driven Diesel. They're one of, well, 2 companies I think that I know of who make this kit. And this gives you, once this is keyed, this actually has a Woodruff key, which I've conveniently covered before I showed you. But the pump shaft on a P-pump from the factory is just press fit. And so you set the timing based on an indicator or spill port timing, you adjust everything, and then you tighten the nut up, and it's just press fit that keeps that thing in place. Well, when you start making big power and turning big RPM, you end up with a bunch of problems on P-pump trucks, but one of the first things that you'll experience is you'll slip timing. And so what this thing does is it gives you the ability of preventing the timing from slipping, and it also gives you 16.5 degrees of adjustment within advance or retard of where it's at. So like right now, this pump is a Seth Farrell pump, 12 millimeter pump, and it's pin timed at about 24, 26 degrees. So I can set this thing in here and know that I can advance or retard the ignition timing up to 16.5 degrees total to move timing in earlier to spool turbos better, or move it in later because I'm trying to make higher RPM. Or maybe I've got a higher pop pressure injector that I went from 260 to 300 bar, and so I've got a little bit of latency in the timing, and I want to get it back to where it was, so I'll advance that 2 or 3 degrees to make up for that. Either way, this gives you the opportunity to take care of a bunch of issues at one time, and conveniently, this King Speed cover allows you to get here and access this. That's why this has this access window is for this specific application. So if you're thinking about buying one of these, and you've got a P-pump truck that makes any power at all, or you're in a quest for making some power on a P-pump truck, buy an adjustable gear, put the Woodruff in, get it timed up, set your stuff, and know that you have adjustments one way or the other so you can dial in your application. dudes and dudettes.
Brothers and brotherettes.
What do you think, Tim?
It's awesome.
It is so sick.
Better than expected.
It looks so killer. So we had to work around this tower the whole time without having the chassis here. And so we mocked up something under the hood of Steven's truck, and well, we did the best we could with what it was, and honestly, it looks excellent. We even have like fairly even spacing between where the radiuses happen on the pipe. It looks like it was just meant to go there, which is super killer. Everything else is looking great. All the AN lines, we kept everything off the manifold down here, so all this stuff will clear without having to worry about it. Just killer. We didn't have the trans mount. It was on its way, but it didn't show up, so we're just gonna ship it to Tim when it does show up here. But dude, I've been waiting to see how baller this King Speed action looks sitting in here. It is so slick. This is one of those trucks that like you go up to at a show and you're like, man, that thing's gonna be awesome. Then you lean underneath it and you start looking and you're like, oh, well, everything's awesome.
Yeah.
This is such a cool project. Really, really fortunate to be part of this. Thank you, Tim, for including us, man.
For sure, I wanted the best.
Well, you're flattering us. God, this is just so awesome to look at. I was talking about your butt, Steven. Okay guys, well, this has been an awesome project. Thank you so much, Tim, for including us. Y'all go check out Decent Garage. If you haven't already, go check it out. Go check out the build on the truck. He does all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
He actually rolled up in a sweet crew cab first gen.
6-speed.
Yeah.
That I drove across the country. Yeah.
Super cool to be pulled into the fold to do this, being involved with guys like Tim Stevenson, Charlie Pitcher, your customer, giving you the opportunity to do this and being able to bring us into that. It's just, it's a feather in the hat for us because we've been working on 12 valve stuff forever, and to get to a point where you're able to build really cool, clean, custom stuff, I don't know what else you can ask for, man. So very rewarding for us to be involved in part of it, and extremely rewarding to see the fit up and the function of all of it clearing perfectly in the frame from the downpipe just by the skin of its teeth, man. In so many places, but nothing touches. So it's something to be proud of, and I can't wait for all the folks that are going to see this truck at a car show or a truck show or whatever, the internet, across the world, to be able to see that and to see the determination, the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into making something. That was the second or third variation of that intercooler pipe, and y'all don't even know that, but it's part of it. Logan, thanks, dude. Logan played a humongous part building piping and just staying busy and rocking and rolling. Turbo feed lines, drain lines, helping to assemble the engine, and staying here late after work to help us get this thing done and load it on the trailer. Thank you very much, man. As always, Logan is a champion. I guess it's down to saying goodbye.
Thank you, Willie, for running the camera and being the, what does Micro do? What's his job?
Other than being just badass in general,
he's not that much, but he's like the,
dude.
I don't know the term.
Yeah.
But you did great.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Willie.
Yeah.
Also. We need Willie. You didn't thank yourself in there, so someone's got to thank you.
I don't need to, dude. These people know, dude. They see me. They saw I hurt my thumb getting down. Like, they know what's up. Didn't even catch that. I filleted my thumb.
Narrator. That's the word I was looking for.
I always wanted to be a narrator. No, I did stuff.
You did, and narrated. And
yeah.
I need you to narrate, because I don't narrate good like you.
I probably didn't work as much as I narrated, but I worked a bunch.
Narrating is working.
Okay, then I worked. I've worked harder than anyone.
Exactly.
I've worked harder than anyone. Actually, all y'all combined here, I've definitely put in more work than these guys. And with that, we're going to end this episode. So until next time, guys.
Later.
Laters.